And we continue our coverage now live on today's events at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison. We want to check back in with Braden Ross, who is live at the scene just adjacent to Abundant Life. Braden?
Hi to you both. Yeah, we've had a lot of coverage of what has happened all day, but this is where this all started today. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see a little bit of a look at what this school is looking like now. Still very much an active scene with flashing police lights. But we have some video to show you of what this scene looked like earlier today. This is from a neighbor who we talked to here who shot this video of students running from the school. He was talking about how loud it was with all the sirens. Obviously, these are scenes that we've seen from other parts of the country as well, but something, you know, you just really hope never happens in your community. And that's one community member I talked to said that very same thing, that this is something that he hoped never happened in his community. And it's very sad, but he's not surprised.
All right, Braden, thank you. We continue with more information as we look at the scene there at Abundant Life. Again, it's located on Madison's east side, if you're not familiar, just off East Buckeye Road. And parents and students are continuing at this hour to reunite at the SSM Health East Clinic building at Stoughton Road at Buckeye.
And we have team coverage of the Abundant Life Christian School shooting. Our crews are out right now live bringing you the updates on what we know so far as that information comes into us. Let's start with reporter Maddie Heimsch.
She's been following with updates as they've been released today by police, and we're still about a half hour away from another update. But let's go to Maddie now with what she has latest. Maddie?
Hey, Eric and Brady, like you said, just a couple moments up until this next press briefing. We'll hear some more information, hopefully at 5:30. That's when the next one is scheduled, so we're waiting here for that. The Associated Press is reporting that the suspect is a 17-year-old female, was a 17-year-old female. Again, that's the Associated Press reporting. What we've heard here from local law enforcement, they confirmed that the suspect was a student at the school and that the two other dead were a teacher and another teenage student at the school. And again, we have information about those 6 other wounded, 2 suffering life-threatening injuries in critical condition and 4 non-life-threatening injuries. So those are the big updates that we know right now as we wait for that 5:30 press conference. But at the 2:30 conference that we heard not only from Police Chief Sean Barnes about those updates, but we also heard from Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway. I'm going to let you take a listen to a little bit of what she had to say.
So my reassurance to the public is that if you see something, say something. If you know someone who may be going through a difficult time, please reach out to someone. And I think what I can do is make sure that our police department is transparent and open and honest and inviting for people to call and give information.
So that was Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes that you just heard there. We did also hear from Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway that what you just heard, Police Chief Sean Barnes. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway said that she said, quote, "I think we need to do better in our country and community to prevent gun violence." She was saying she hoped this day would never come to Madison. Of course, a common sentiment in the room and in the community tonight as we again wait for that 5:30 conference where we'll hopefully get a couple more answers. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Maddie Heimsch reporting live from Fire Station 14 on Madison Southeast Side. Maddie, thank you. Abundant Life Christian School issued a statement on their Facebook page earlier today, and it reads, quote, "Prayers requested. Today we had an active shooter incident at ALCS. We are in the midst of following up. We will share information as we are able. Please pray for our Challenger family," end quote.
Police Chief Sean Barnes indicated today he did not think Abundant Life Christian School has resource officers on staff. The executive director of the National Association of School Resource Officers, Mo Kennedy, tells us, according to their database, the school did not. School resource officers were removed from Madison schools in the past few years, but Kennedy says even if they were placed back in, the current system doesn't allow local governments to place them into private schools as well.
I don't think it's just our database that you know we're able to glean that from. I think it's pretty standard that you don't see that in a private school. For right now, for private schools, if they want to have a law enforcement presence, they're going to have to privately hire an off-duty law enforcement officer to work in that environment. And so, you know, again, so you're talking about them having to self-fund that situation.
Kennedy says there are limited school safety and SRO grants from the Department of Justice, but he thinks more can be done there as well.
Well, let's go back through everything that has happened up to this point. Police responding to the shooting just before 11 this morning at Abundant Life on East Buckeye Road. Now, we learned multiple people were killed and injured. Among the dead was the shooter, a student there. Parents since have been meeting at the reunification center at the SSM Health East Clinic. Patients were transported to nearby hospitals, both SSM Health St. Mary's downtown and also the UW Health campus as well. Madison PD said those range from minor to life-threatening. We know there are 2 said to be in critical condition at this time. They did have an initial report of 5 dead. That has since been corrected. Was immediately done so after that initial report. Now, reactions have been pouring in from political officials all across the state today.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway attended this evening's news conference on the shooting. Braden Ross is live with what the mayor had to say. Braden.
Hi there. Yeah, we are here at the school. This is where this all started today. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see a little bit of what the scene looks like right now. There are still certainly some police cars here, flashing lights, police tape. I'm sure they are still doing a very thorough investigation of this building. But let me show you, I think we have a little bit of video to show you of what this scene looked like earlier today. This was sent in to us from a neighbor who took cell phone video of what he saw. His house basically backs up to this school, and he took video of what he was seeing as students were running out, police cars flooding in. He was talking about just how loud those sirens were, and he was really comparing to what it is now, which is just really, really quiet. We have also seen some students come out of the school from this way as well, getting onto metro buses. Those big, long BRT buses have been waiting here all day to take those students to the reunification center, where we know they have now started to be able to go back and get reunited with their families. So obviously those are the scenes that we like to see, but this is not something that we ever want to see in our community here, and unfortunately it has happened to us here in Madison. But I'll send it back to you for now.
All right, Braden Ross reporting live from Madison's East Side at Abundant Life Christian School tonight. Braden, thank you very much. The city of Madison is asking members of the public again to stay away from that reunification center on Stoughton Road.
In a statement, the city is saying at this time there is no danger to the community, and we are in the process of supporting victims and their families. Members of the general public are asked to steer clear of the area. And again, the Parental Reunification Center is at the SSM Urgent Health Clinic that's near East Buckeye and Stoughton.
Well, Madison School District Superintendent Dr. Joe Gothard reacting to today's tragedy in a statement saying, quote, "This unimaginable tragedy impacts not just one school, but all of us in the greater Madison community. No one should face these complex emotions in isolation. As a community bound by mutual respect and compassion, we urge everyone to continue looking out for one another, to offer kindness, and to help the Abundant Life Christian School community in your thoughts," end quote. Again, Madison School Superintendent Dr. Joe Gothard offering those comments on behalf of the Madison School District. And we will be back after a short break. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now, brought to you by Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning.
I just need to know which one of you is going to fix this.
Everything was fine until the electrician got here.
I had everything under control until the plumber showed up.
Oh, hey, babe. You need anything?
Just go upstairs, Ed.
Call Cardinal today for professional service you can count on.
Discover more ways to save on appliances at our Brothers Main Bargain Rooms. Get discounts on top brand closeouts, returns, and scratch and dents. Minor dings, major savings. Plus, you can take your purchase home today. Feel like family. Brothers Main.
The holidays. So happy to get and holiday trips. And holiday toys. And holiday bonding. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
Find your red tag and use your red tag bonus cash to get $5,750 total cash allowance on this Silverado. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
This is for all lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup and ride that highway in the sky.
Energy is like a symphony. Every note, every chord, every instrument creates an incredible melody of power and possibility. But that energy needs to be reliable to have the same power, and affordable to keep the melody. At home, on the road, on farms and fleets and even ports. Propane and renewable propane lower carbon emissions while harnessing the full symphony of energy. Learn more about safe, clean, reliable propane at propane.com.
Whether you're living for today or saving for tomorrow, DePaco Credit Union offers flexible options to help you make the most of your money. With our comprehensive tools and customized programs, DePaco will help you see exactly where your money goes and how your savings can grow. A penny saved isn't just a penny earned. It's also a step toward greater confidence and financial freedom. Make the most of your money. Call DePaco today. Learn more at dupaco.com/save. Federally insured by NCUA.
Tonight at 6, the digital world is evolving and our kids are all in. So parents, we need to stay on our toes.
There are some risks with predators. We have had some people we thought, you shouldn't be friending this person.
In my Time for Kids report, I'm giving your family the tools to navigate today's technology, including our SSM Health experts' top tips for getting your kids on board with a safety plan.
Video games, social media, you name it, it's not going anywhere. So we need to shift our mindset.
Catch our digital playbook tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. We continue with our live coverage of today's school shooting at Abundant Life Christian School. SSM Health confirming it has received patients from the incident.
Adding in a statement, they say, we are praying for all affected by today's tragic incident at Abundant Life Christian School and our community as a whole. We are grateful for the first responders who acted swiftly today, end quote. SSM Health says it has set up its Dean Medical Group site on Stoughton Road as a family assistance center for all those affected. And we know from police at least 3 people are dead, including the suspected shooter.
And 6 others have been injured. Will Keneally outside UW Health with the UW Hospital, the campus there between UW Hospital and American Family Children's Hospital, with more on the conditions of those injured. Will?
That's right. So we've been here for most of the afternoon, and actually for the first time we saw an ambulance drive through here. It's been very quiet. As we imagine, a lot of those emergency calls may have been diverted to other emergency rooms. Here at the UW, it's what's called a Trauma 1 Center. That's that highest level of emergency care that can be provided here. Think same kind of care that you might get in a big city like Milwaukee or the Twin Cities. As you're mentioning, Eric, this is also right next to the American Family Children's Hospital. So between the two facilities, they also have a pediatric intensive care unit that people can receive that care from. We do know at least that 2 of the victims from the shooting are critically injured. So we are waiting to hear. We don't know much about their condition aside from that, but we are waiting to hear any updates from them so far. As we've been here, we've been tracking some of the political statements coming in from elected officials. We know that President Joe Biden spoke with local leaders here in Madison. He said in a statement to press that Congress, for example, needs to act now, adding, though, that Jill and I are praying for the victims today, including the teacher and teenage student that were killed and those who sustained injuries. Grateful for the first responders. And he has confirmed that the FBI is working with local law enforcement efforts here, and that at his direction, his team has reached out to other local officials as well. So we'll continue to provide you updates throughout the evening here as we learn more about the conditions of those injured and as we just hear more. But for now, reporting from UW Hospital, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. For families, staff, and students who go through an incident like this, experts say the best way to heal moving forward is to be proactive.
Gun violence psychology expert Janet Hyde says after soothing your child from the trauma, it's important not to avoid the subject or keep them from returning to school.
That's not good for their mental health. It's better for them to go back once the school's cleaned up, of course, but for them to go back, to get back to their usual routine with their friends and with teachers, and to have some conversations in the school about what transpired.
As a preventative measure, Hyde says parents should always urge their kids that if they see something wrong with one of their peers mentally, tell a trusted adult who can come to the student's aid. And the city of Madison providing many resources for the community after today's tragic events.
Residents can dial 211 for free and confidential information on local services. For those in distress, the Suicide Crisis Lifeline is 988, or they can dial the SAMHSA Disaster Distress Helpline, and that number is on your screen right now. Victims of a crime can also call the Victim Connect Resource Center to learn what rights and other services are available to them.
We'll take a quick break and return with our live continuing coverage. We'll hear from neighbors and parents in the wake of today's shooting. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hurry into Shopko Optical before your vision benefits expire. Our professional team will walk you through your options, and together, we will maximize your benefits on exams, frames, contact lenses, and more. Your personalized eye care awaits. Visit Shopko Optical today.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Dashing has been very helpful for me. Definitely brought me a significant amount of extra income and allowed me to comfortably pay my bills and live a lifestyle and get out and have some fun. Portable benefits would be great. It would allow me to afford health care, dental insurance, and vision insurance. That's great because, as you can see, I wear glasses. I will need to get more eye exams because I'm getting up there in age. I love the freedom and flexibility of dashing, and portable benefits will give me an additional peace of mind.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. The holidays have always been a special time for everyone in the Fields family. And we have some great news for you.
It's Fields' holiday sales event going on right now. New inventory is arriving daily. All new makes and models to choose from, and all with end-of-year pricing.
Happy holidays from Fields during Fields' holiday sales event, where you can get a great offer like this.
Get 3.99 APR financing on a 2025 XC40 Recharge, XC60, or XC90. Costco members also enjoy a bonus. Go to VolvoCarsMadison.com.
We often get asked,
is it really free to hire Gruber Law Offices after an accident?
The answer is very simple. Yes. We don't get paid until we win your case. It costs you nothing up front to hire Gruber Law Offices. The call, the consultation, all free. You pay nothing until we win your case. It's just that simple. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is morning in Wisconsin. And while you're getting started, we've been getting ready to show you what's happening on this new day. News 3 Now this morning is leading the way with local breaking news, showing you the places and meeting the people that make our area special, and letting you know what to expect when you head out the door. Start your day with the Emmy Award-winning News 3 Now this morning, weekdays from 4:30 to 7.
Your eyewear should be as individual as you. With Shopko Optical's extensive selection of frames and lenses, our optometrists will learn about you and help you customize the right choice for your lifestyle. Visit Shopko Optical and find your new signature style today.
Welcome back. A teenager and a teenage student are dead after a shooting today at Madison's Abundant Life Christian School. I should correct myself, a teacher and a teenage student are dead.
And the suspected shooter is also dead. At least 6 others are injured, 2 said to be in critical condition, while 4 have suffered non-life-threatening injuries. A resident near the school says he never would have imagined a tragedy like this so close to home.
I heard there was possible shooting or something to that magnitude, something very bad. I waited for another probably 10 minutes and more cop cars came. I would say in total like 70 or 80 cop cars came by before I left. You always see it on TV that it happened somewhere else.
We continue to get statements from our elected officials here in Wisconsin. Senator Tammy Baldwin says she's been briefed on the shooting. She says, I've been briefed on the active shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, and my heart goes out to all of those impacted. My office is in touch with local and state officials, and I stand ready to assist law enforcement and anyone affected.
Senator Ron Johnson also extending his condolences to the victims of the tragedy. Quote, my sincere condolences and prayers for all the victims of the tragedy at Abundant Life Christian School. I will continue to closely monitor the situation, end quote.
Governor Tony Evers says he is closely monitoring the situation at what happened at Abundant Life. He released a statement today saying, we are praying for the kids, educators, and entire Abundant Life school community as we await more information and are grateful for the first responders who are working quickly to respond to this. Evers has ordered flags to be flown at half staff to honor the victims of today's shooting. That order will last until this Sunday.
Now again, we are in the rush hour hour. So traffic and weather conditions, something we want to keep a close eye on. We go to Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington with the latest on that. Alex?
Eric, we are tracking 2 snow potential for this upcoming week. 1 about 24 hours from now. 2 will be Thursday during the day going into Thursday evening. Tuesday night snow could actually impact the morning commute to your earlier comment about traffic. We all will be much colder by the time we get to the weekend as part of the 3 things you need to know here. 39 in Madison right now. We had a cold front move through. You're probably wondering, well, where's the colder air? It will slowly infiltrate, slowly move in throughout the night tomorrow and as we go into Tuesday and beyond. That wind chill out there, 36, so there's some improvement there. We don't have those gusty winds currently out there, so the wind chills are certainly something that has improved. Cloudy skies tonight, temperatures staying through the 30s as we plan your evening, not expecting any precipitation anymore. The showers that were associated with today's cold front have since moved off to the east here, and we're just seeing sunset on our live Platteville Queen Bee radio sky cam. So some clouds, some breaks in the clouds throughout tonight, but the vast majority of us will be cloudy overnight tonight. Then we eye up that snow chance Tuesday, and then again on Thursday. Both of these completely different weather systems. Here's system number 1. Some snow showers, Dells, Madison, Viroqua by 8:30 Tuesday evening. The widespread snow shower activity will be between 10 o'clock and approximately midnight Tuesday night, and then it moves out of here as we go into the early part of Wednesday morning. But the amount of snow that we're expecting, dusting to maybe an inch, you might be thinking, well, that's not a lot, Alex. That may be just enough to cause a couple of slick spots to start off Wednesday morning's commute. So something to keep an eye on for, and certainly tuning in later tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow for the latest updates. Not expecting more than an inch with that weather system Tuesday night, and keeping an eye on what we call a clipper-like system. This is a system that comes out of the northwest that's a quick mover that could bring some snow to southern Wisconsin. But that track is uncertain right now, and the track is key to who gets the heavier snow. So as we track a clipper system, and this is very much how this system will likely pan out in terms of coming in from the northwest here, we'll keep an eye on the overall track. If it does track just south of Madison, just south in Iowa and Illinois, that would bring a quick 1 to 3 inches of snow to southern Wisconsin. If it ends up being a little bit further to the north, this is how that may pan out according to one of our other weather models, keeping snow a little bit heavier to the north up towards the Dells, Marquette, Green Lake, Juneau, and Adams counties as we go throughout the day on Thursday, because this weather model is bringing the actual center of the low into southwest Wisconsin and then scooting across Madison and areas just south and east towards Janesville. If this verifies, the heavier snow would be just north of the Madison area, but we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. A southerly track again could bring that 1 to 3 inches of snow right into the Madison area. Cold this weekend and then warming up as we head towards the Christmas holiday. So that's the only real chance of snow that we have for a white Christmas in southern Wisconsin. And briefly, Eric was mentioning traffic right now as we look eastbound and westbound. Our speeds right now are approximately 50 to 60 miles per hour. Going down here to Janesville, see if we have any updates at 70 miles per hour. So that's about what you would expect this time of the night during rush hour, and also 71 miles per hour eastbound on I-90 right now. Again, tomorrow night, though, we will be needing to keep an eye on some of those snow showers. We might have to take it just a little bit slower tomorrow night going into Wednesday morning.
All right, Alex, thank you. We want to remind folks we're going to go to a press conference here expected in about 5 to 10 minutes. The latest update on what happened today at Madison Abundant Life Christian School. Stay with us.
Like a bowl of cherries, life in Attic Angel is healthy and sweet. Our independent and assisted living lifestyles include newly renovated apartments, engaging social activities, and wellness support that is tailored to you. As time marches on, we promote the idea that life can always be a bowl of cherries. Attic Angel, the house that angels built.
Save big money on your kitchen project with help from Menards. Update your home with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles. Right now, get these Rockney cabinets on sale for $57.39. Finish your project with countertops from Menards. From elegant to everyday options, we have what you need for updating your living space. Design your countertop today, starting at $39.99 a square foot after rebate.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
holidays.
So happy together.
And holiday trips. And holiday toys. And holiday bonding. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
Find your red tag and use your red tag bonus cash to get $5,750 total cash allowance on this Silverado. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
I just this morning made a new hole in my belt, so that was super exciting.
Why are women everywhere choosing Sonobello, the advanced solution for permanent fat removal?
I saw the results immediately.
It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all.
And my abs haven't been this flat since before I've had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
Check it out, snatch waist. Loving, loving, loving the results.
It will change your life. It did for me.
Call 1-888-510-6198 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Bad odors, ghastly noises, and clogs at the worst possible time. These are just a few of the holiday horrors lurking within your garbage disposal. But you don't have to let an old system squash your holiday spirit. Give yourself the gift of the grind and save $50 when you upgrade with Cardinal. Put your old appliance on a permanent naughty list and get a highly efficient, ultra-quiet garbage disposal that can clean up even the most chaotic of holiday dinners. Don't let a clogged sink spoil your holiday spirit. Book online at cardinalservice.com.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage. Abundant Life parents are continuing the reunification process with their students at the SSM East Clinic near East Buckeye at Stoughton Road.
Meryl Hubbard is live at the center. What are you seeing out there, Meryl?
Okay.
Meryl, can you hear us?
Hi. Yes, I'm at the Unification Center. Yes, I can hear you now. Thank you. I'm at the Unification Center. I've been here for pretty much the entire day and just been talking to community members, neighbors, parents even. And the number one thing I keep on hearing is, we can't believe this happened in Madison. We can't believe this happened in our community today. And so that's been the biggest thing I've heard. And the reality is we have to face is that it did happen in Madison here today. Now, at the Unification Center, I did see a couple buses, the Metro Transit buses, bringing students from the school or somewhere in that area over to here to reunite with their families. And so they've been, seeing their parents for the first time after experiencing something truly, truly traumatic. And those parents were sitting there anxiously waiting for hours to see their children. And so I did talk to one parent who was telling me that she has 3 boys that go to the school, and she was just talking to me and just really emotional and trying to absorb and take in everything that's happened here today. She did say that she's going to sit down with her family, obviously hold them super, super tight tonight, and also talk about these things. I think that was one thing that Armand said earlier of an expert is these are really hard things to talk about, but there's something to be said about the importance of talking about it and why this is happening and how you can recover in your mental health journey past this. And so that's the battle now that a lot of these students and all of these families face. And so that's what we're going to see more of in the future. But coming up later tonight, we're going to hear more from that parent and her child to see what they've experienced here today. But for now, again, the Unification Center is pretty chilled out. Doesn't look like there's a ton more kids coming through. I haven't seen any in probably the last hour, but we're still hanging out here just to see if anything else happens. But for now, reporting live on Madison's East Side, Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
All right, Meryl, thank you. And again, we are awaiting an update, a press conference set to happen at 5:30. So in just a couple minutes, and we will take that live as it happens and get the very latest. Now, the last update we had was 3 hours ago at 2:30. And at that time, what we understand, the information they gave us at that time were that 3 individuals were dead, a student, a teacher, and a teenage suspect. All were found to be dead at the scene at Madison Abundant Life Christian School in the 4900 block of East Buckeye. There were also 6 injured, 2 of them critically, and 4 of them with non-life-threatening injuries. They were continuing to process the scene there and making sure that, they swept through the building several times and got those students out safely. in getting them back via buses from Abundant Life down the road over to the SSM Health East Clinic at Stoughton and Buckeye. Continuing to execute some search warrants. We do have continuing coverage on our website as well, channel3000.com, if you want to go there to find more stories about some of the investigative processes that are happening right now. But they are continuing to interview witnesses, and they were obtaining search warrants to get additional information.
Yeah, for this 5:30 news conference, we are hoping to learn some more details about the timeline of events that got us to this point. There's no guarantee that they have discovered that yet. This could be a days-long investigation to get some of that information out, but we are awaiting to hear a possible motive from the suspected shooter about why this happened. We've heard a lot from our elected officials who have made statements on this, and now there are multiple services planned to honor the victims of this school shooting. There is a prayer service at Blackhawk Church in Middleton that's set for 7 p.m. tonight. The public is invited to attend, and of course there is a candlelight vigil at the state capitol in front of the Vel Phillips statue tomorrow night at 6 p.m. That is put on by the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County. So as we've said, stay away from that, from the area where this happened, the Abundant Life School and the Reunification Center. If you have to take a different route to get to where you're going, that is suggested. But if you are feeling the need to show up for your community, some of those services are available coming up.
Yeah, and this was a massive law enforcement response today. Many of you probably saw or posted or saw posts on social media around 11 o'clock with emergency response vehicles heading to the east side. 15 ambulances were at the scene, according to Madison Fire Chief Chris Carbon. 3 of the injured were taken to UW Hospital, 4 to SSM Health St. Mary's. And again, we're hoping, you know, we have to be patient with the information. We're not expecting to get a lot of investigative material out of, but we hope we can get some update. The best news would be if some of those that were critical, we have some status updates where maybe they can be stabilized. But again, we don't know what to expect as we await this press conference at 5:30 there at the Madison Fire Station 14, the newer station. You're looking at the community room right now on Madison's southeast side.
Yeah, and this has already captured the attention of the nation, including President Joe Biden. He issued a statement calling this shocking and unconscionable. And he says, we cannot continue to accept it as normal. Every child deserves to feel safe in their classroom. President Biden also said students across our country should be learning how to read and write, not having to learn how to duck and cover. This, of course, is just the most recent school shooting in the nation, as this has become more commonplace throughout the years.
Yeah, these are the worst things to cover in this business. And there's Dylan Brogan again giving some kind of probably a standby for the beginning of this press conference. And sometimes they cancel these. I mean, if they don't have anything new to offer, they will. Hopefully, we'll have some new information. Looks like they're going to have a press conference here shortly. But also from channel3000.com, I mentioned some of the, there is a significant police presence at a home on the north side. Officers seen at a home just before 2:30. The front door taken off its hinges, officers going in and out of the home. This is, you can learn more about that investigative piece at channel3000.com. It's unclear why law enforcement was at that home or if anyone was taken into custody. Again, we were just there at that home on the north side of Madison getting some shots. And of course, our crews have been throughout the area. Maddie Heimsch is in that room right now waiting this press conference. Braden Ross remains at Madison Abundant Life Christian School on East Buckeye. And we have crew Will Keneally following the latest updates from the medical community. But it has been a long and grueling day for everyone. And our thoughts are certainly first and foremost with the families as they get those reunifications at the East Clinic there. We believe probably the last of those students has gotten to that school. But again, as you learned with the Mount Horeb situation 7 months ago, 2 times now within 7 months, we have been wall to wall with coverage of school shooting activity. That is not the kind of stuff we want in our community. It is a terrible tragedy what happened today, but that is a trying situation, as you covered so closely in May, parents waiting to be reunited with their children.
Yeah, and I really got to see the parents in that situation there, you know, different circumstances back in May, but a lot of them, it was a very kind of hurry up and wait sort of day. They went many hours even though many of them knew their children were safe via text message or phone call, there were certain policies and protocols that the school district at that time had to follow. So they were waiting, they were gathered at a community church. And one thing that I saw as, there was just that time waiting to see their children, community members coming out and supporting each other, just lending an ear, talking to each other. Several businesses in that community started donating things like water. I think a pizza place sent some food over, because even in those situations when you know your child is safe, you still want to see them, you want to give them a hug, and then you're also thinking about the emotional trauma of something like that. So I think parents really want to be there for their kids, and if they have any questions about anything, they want to have those conversations tonight and unfortunately in the days moving forward.
And I thought it was interesting, the individual we had earlier, Dave Riley from UW, talking about how to help these folks. Some of us don't know how to broach those subjects. If somebody is a parent who had a student there, how do you reach out to them and help them? And he said, if you want to bring them food, just bring it. Don't ask them, because they'll turn it down. But I thought that was interesting advice, because a lot of people don't know how to reach out to these folks. They want to help, especially this time of the year. Everybody wants to be very giving to their neighbors, and go ahead and reach out, help, find a way as these folks first go through this reunification process and make sure their kids are okay. Let's look at the vigil information. Brady had just mentioned a minute ago, Black Hawk Church in Middleton out on Mineral Point Road, way out there, a vigil tonight at 7 o'clock, so just a little over an hour from now. And then tomorrow, a vigil at the state capitol, right in front of the Vel Phillips statue there. All are invited. I think you said the Boys and Girls Club, Michael Johnson had organized that. So, or somebody with the Boys and Girls Club had organized that. So, the pieces are coming together to support the community, and that's really what's important right now.
Yeah, and we've seen in those moments when you do have those prayer services and candlelight vigils, it is a way for people to show up for each other. And even if it is a person who wasn't directly affected by what has happened, this does have a ripple effect throughout the community. It's a very sad thing, so people often feel compelled to. Another piece of advice that we heard is, don't try to isolate. If you need to be with people and just show your support or get support yourself, these services are a really handy tool to process this level of grief in our community.
Yeah, and even if those affected don't show up at these vigils, when they see the community support, there is a little bit of comfort there as when we talk to people impacted by these things. So it is good to support your fellow community members. You're looking at Fire Station 14 on the right side of your screen there. That is where we are expecting in just a moment the latest update on what happened today at Madison Abundant Life Christian School on the east side. Our last update was at 2:30. Again, we don't know what, if any, further updates. They may just reiterate or provide information on ways that people can help and further instruction on what has happened in terms of that reunification process, if it's complete, if all the students have been safely returned to their families, which has been kind of a process, as it often is, to first sweep the school, make sure everything's safe, make sure the students are comfortable, make sure they're able to get out to the buses safely. That's a big process, because, if you're in that school today and you were a young student and you heard gunfire or something like that, it can be a very, emotionally difficult, traumatic experience, and they have to be very sensitive and treat these kids with the utmost kindness and softness as they get them to these buses and then transport them on to meet their families.
Yeah. And I'm sure we will be reporting in the days to come any resources at the schools for kids to talk to. Typically in these situations, there will be guidance counselors made available because the physical trauma is one thing and the emotional, mental trauma of this is another. And I think what we've seen in the past and what we will likely see is people we'll talk about this, maybe not necessarily right away, but even in the days to come, they'll start being able to process the grief, the trauma of this, and maybe want to speak with an individual or their parents or friends to try to make sense of what has happened here.
Yeah, it is that, everybody wants answers now, but for those that are directly impacted, it's about just, letting them be with their family members and making sure that the investigative piece will come out. Everybody wants to know what happened, and, there's social media, stories that pop up, and we're not going to report any of that stuff as far as that investigative element, like what caused it or what drove a suspect. We are aware of rumors that are out there. we get flooded with them too, but we're going to stick with the facts, and certainly our time right now is going to be dedicated to providing the best support publicly and allowing you as the community to support those directly impacted by what happened today.
And this is an ever-evolving situation. We have been on air, since very early this afternoon as this was all starting, and we have been able to confirm several details through law enforcement, through various news conferences with Chief Sean Barnes and various city leaders talking about what has happened. We did hear from some people in the community early on. One of our team members talked with someone who lives near the school, and at the time he said, of course, it's a little shocking. You always see it on TV and then it happens somewhere else. He said, you don't realize the situation when it's right here in your backyard. It's basically a block away from me. That's what an individual said. And of course, we've seen a lot of school shootings on TV elsewhere, but when it happens in your community, just as it did in Mount Horeb with the threat of a shooter, and then that situation, and now it really it's a tragedy. It pulls at people's heartstrings, and it's awful anytime, but with the backdrop of Christmas coming up so closely, it's going to be a heavy time of the holidays for a lot of people.
Yeah, and everybody always says that, right, in the interview. I mean, we never thought it would happen here, and here we are 2 times in 7 months, like I said, covering a story like this involving an exchange of gunfire at a school. Or in this case, we understand there was no, when the police got there, the situation had ended, but still a tragedy nonetheless, and situations that are in our schools, supposed to be the safest places in our community where we can send our children, and a day ends with 3 dead and 6 injured, 2 critically. And again, we are waiting patiently to try to get more information, and law enforcement being very, very careful about the information that they get out there. And that they are, hopefully giving us some sort of an update. But I would assume at this point in time, it's mostly going to be about the reunification process. Yeah. Will that wrap up? I don't know what they'll be able to offer in terms of an investigative piece. This has been such a massive law enforcement and first responder presence today, whether it's ambulances, 15 of them leaving Abundant Life. You had agencies from Monona and Dane County, and you had federal agencies like the ATF there, and of course that's all in addition to the first responders. The chief mentioning that there was a group of EMTs, of medics training for this exact situation, and they're called in the middle of it to respond to this today.
Yeah, you think about how things have changed so drastically since the late 90s with the Columbine high school shooting. At that time, it was unthinkable that something like this could happen, and it really rocked the nation. And then throughout the years, little by little, we started seeing these things happen more. And unfortunately, school districts, law enforcement have to set up these training sessions, these active shooter trainings in schools. At one point I interviewed a younger student, and asked, is it odd having these active shooter trainings in your schools? And that person said it would be odd if we didn't.